Hey guys, Hamsterwheel here with a new video, and today I want to talk about a rather unique project. You see, in the private server community, it's easy to get lost in a sea of fresh Wrath Lich King private servers running on a stock Trinity core. And finding a hidden gem is not that easy, but it's not impossible. And in this video, I'd like to showcase a private server that is run by a very small team that has a ton of custom stuff added to the game. That private server is Duskhaven. Now, I talked about Duskhaven before, and while the server is struggling to get by in terms of population, it's still up, and now it's in the Burning Crusade era in terms of progression. To accommodate new players, they completely changed the Blasted Lands and made it into a brand new leveling zone from 1 all the way to 60, so players can quickly jump into TBC content. So join me as I show you some pretty cool scripting on this wonderful project. So first up, we go from our starting zone to the Blasted Lands through a portal. Once we're there, we're greeted by Jaina Proudmoore, who asks us to warm up on a few target dummies. After that, we train our first aid skill, and with that done, we start killing some elite imps and also heal up some wounded soldiers. And by using first aid on the soldiers, they are healed and they pop some extra dialogue. Pretty nice. Then we are told to slay the demon in the mine here, who goes down without too much effort. After that, we are sent to Doomall Hall to try and ally with the ogres in the area, so that we can have reinforcements. We talk to their leader and we are tasked with getting rid of the Fel Hounds outside of their base. So now that we have the ogres on our side, we make our way to Nethergarb Keep, fighting our way through several other demons. When we get there, we are greeted by Jaina once again, and she asks us to talk to Watcher Mathar. Now, you may have noticed that I level up very quickly and that I'm still wearing my starter gear. But no worries, because every now and then there are vendors that provide a few pieces to keep you somewhat up to date with your gear. After picking some upgrades, we help Watcher Mathar by killing some mobs around the camp. We then report back to him and some cool dialogue pops up with him exorcising the demon out of the base. Once again, a pretty nice demonstration of the custom scripting here. A little later, we head south into a cave where we are greeted by Thrall. He requests us to go outside, kill the boars and collect their meat. And after we've done that, we get back into the cave and cook some meat to provide the warriors some food. After completing that, the cave starts to shake, and we get to the exit where Jaina asks us to get rid of the Eredar Fel Lord. And once we've done so, we report to Vol'jin to help him out. We first kill some Legion invaders, clearing the path for Vol'jin to go up to the summoning altar. When we hand in the quest, there's more custom dialogue and Vol'jin starts to walk towards the altar. And when we are there, we are greeted by a shadow demon that we have to take down. And take down that demon we shall. After killing the demon, we report back to Vol'jin and he asks us to meet up with none other than Tyrion Fordring in the Tainted Scar. So Tyrion asks us to destroy a couple of Doomguards first. And then orders us to aid some of the Argent defenders here, who, when you buff them, pop dialogue and give you a Blessing of Kings. A little later down the line, and we are told to go after the source of the Doomguards, which is Grand Warlock Omnicus. Apparently he summons the Doomguards to Azeroth, so down he goes. And once we've killed him, it's back to Tyrion Fordring, who tells us to go south a bit more and meet up with Thrall. And once we get to Thrall, we witness some really cool dialogue with Tyrion Fordring fighting off a powerful demon. And so far I'm super impressed with the scripting, and it's a joy to go through this fun little 1 to 60 quest hub. And then when we head our way to the next quest, we see a giant elemental lord who we probably have to fight a little later down the line. First though, Vol'jin asks us to bring down the Dreadlord Marex, and upon dying we gain a massive 5 levels. Yeah, talk about fast. After that, it's once again off to Jaina, who asks us to deal with Pitlord Igrius. And well, like the Dreadlord, we get a massive amount of XP by killing him, bringing us to level 50. Also, it seems the Dark Portal is slightly changed here, where it looks like it's protected by some magical shield of some sorts. Pretty nice. Alright then, time to tackle that Elemental Lord we saw before. We accept the quest, and we get more custom scripting and dialogue. And well, after we brought that monster down, there's one last battle that remains before we are able to enter Outland. A demon named Kinganoth is the last mob in our way, and with a giant buff we're able to deal massive damage and bring him down as well. And after killing him, we are level 60. But it doesn't end there. We are to report back to Thrall in Orgrimmar and claim our rewards to prepare us for the Outland journey. We get a high warlord weapon, 3 tier 2 tokens and a couple of dungeon tokens for blue gear, which is definitely enough to get us ready for questing in Outland. And well, I'll just stop the showcasing here because I think you guys now have a good impression of why I wanted to showcase this private server. Now, this server has been up for quite a while, and it mostly had a very low population. But despite that, look at the amount of custom stuff that has been added over its lifespan, despite its low population. What I showed you guys is just the tip of the iceberg. There's custom quests for custom currency, extra quests added in Outland, new sets of gear, mythic dungeons in several difficulties, more custom zones and a whole lot more. All of this while the population is very low. And make no mistake, when I mean low, I mean very low. So what am I getting at here? Well, with the rising popularity of private servers, there are projects that pop up that are just shameless cash grabs. Projects that have little to no work done to them and are only there to make a quick buck and then forever get shut down. It's a shame because projects like that definitely give the private server community a bad rep. And then there's this, a private server that obviously gets little to no donations. So clearly the motivation to keep going is not for any financial reason. No, this project is probably the best example of what we call a labor of love. No matter the population, there have been tons of extra features added throughout its lifespan. This custom stuff, by the way, is mostly done by one person. Yep, all of the amazing stuff I showed you, which again is just the tip of the iceberg, is mostly done by one guy called Nox. Other than him, the project has one game master and one Q&A tester. And that's it. And even though he does most of the work himself, the bug fixes and updates go out lightning fast. No, seriously, I've had people play here and they can vouch for the fact that certain bugs got fixed literally the next day. I'm looking at you, Boney from the Chromie homies. I mean, think about it. There are private servers out there who make way more money than this, that have bugs which they never even bothered to look at. Yet this private server patches stuff within record time. So with this video, I'm asking you guys for a favor. I know I asked this before, but if you're someone that genuinely loves private servers and you think that the actual labors of love deserve a good population, well, here's your chance. Here's your chance to show that the community doesn't just exist out of a bunch of fresh addicts who throw themselves at some half-assed 3.3.5 server and then move on to the next fresh stock Trinity Core 3.3.5 server the next week. Show that you care about these amazing projects by at least giving it a go. Because if there's any project that deserves a bit more love, it's this one. I'll leave a link down below so you can check it out yourself. And yes, go ahead, call me a shill for the server. I consider it a compliment. I'll be more than happy to shill out for passion projects like this that are starving for more people to play on it. Thanks in advance for checking it out, and Nox, if you're watching, you're awesome. And thanks so much for the heaps of fun I've had checking out the server. The custom scripting is seriously impressive. Well, that's all for today. Do me a favor and check out the server. As always, I want to thank you for watching this video. I'm Hamsterwheel and have a good one.